We're in a bad shape, honestly, as far as May goes.
Today, it'll be hot. Tomorrow, not so much. Ahead on 9 News Mornings, we're talking about today's high fire danger and the big drop in temperatures to follow. With that cool weather we're expecting tomorrow, don't forget about your plants.
If they do get damaged, don't completely write them off.
We have tips on what you can do to help your plants survive the weather change. But before that cooler weather rolls in, we have to get through today. Are you prepared? We're talking about the things you can do now to make sure you and your family are safe in case of an emergency.
I'm Gary Shapiro.
I'm Corey Rose. I'm Natasha Verma.
I'm Ed Green.
I'm Erica Lopez.
9 News Mornings starts now.
A live look outside. Today we could hit 90. Then tomorrow, a huge drop that will bring us snow.
Wow, we're going to check in with that in just a few minutes. First, we want to head out to 9 News reporter Darius Johnson, taking a more in-depth look at this fire season and what's to come. Darius?
Corey and Natasha, as we come on the air, we really want to be able to contextualize this for you. Go ahead and take a look at this video. This is the Spring Creek fire from the summer of 2018. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen worries that this summer has potential to be just like that. Now take a look at this. As we continue to say, Colorado is extremely dry right now. But again, we want to be able to give you a little bit of context. Right now, we have critical fire weather with increasing winds coming in ahead of it. So far, there's been very little moisture in what's usually our wettest month out of the year, and the inch of rain from the first week of May is already gone after basking in the sun.
We're in a bad shape, honestly, as far as May goes, and this part of May that we're in. So the storm that's on the horizon here coming up this weekend is going to be very significant for us, very significant moisture.
Now, another way we want to be able to put this into context, if you easily think back to December, Ed, right before the Marshall Fire, December was very dry. We were then waiting for that storm on New Year's Eve. However, the wind swept in ahead of that, prompting and really contributing to the Marshall Fire. So with this situation, we're going to heat right back up after this. And I know that's something you're really going to get into with everything we need to look out for.
Exactly right. But you make a good point there that we had some moisture early in May. At least we got that. Then it really dried out and warmed up. We're going to get a little more moisture so we catch these little breaks as often as we can. That's the better thing.
Yeah, no, definitely understand that.
So let's go outside, take a look at what we've got going on right now. And you can see we do have high clouds overhead. Look at how mild it is. 64 degrees already. Cloudy skies will continue to move through the day, maybe a few sprinkles this afternoon. Then tomorrow morning, here's some rain changing over to snow by the evening rush hour. And you can see the amounts we're going to get with a winter storm watch in effect from noon Friday to noon on Saturday. And take a look at the forecast. 88 degrees today, tomorrow 46 as snow develops. Then for Saturday, only 40 degrees with rain and snow showers, 56 on Sunday. And look at these snow amounts we're going to see. Along the Front Range, I believe this one, 5.3 in Denver. Take a look at this amount in Denver, 7.9. And look at this model for Denver. We're going to look at maybe 11.3 inches. I'm going for 3 to 6 just to be on the safe side.
Just doesn't even feel real. It's crazy, Ed. Thank you. The Great Sand Dunes National Park is back open this morning after a fire. Park officials say a lightning strike started it. The Medano fire has burned about 300 acres of grassland. It's 80% contained.
A couple hours west, the Plumtop fire burning north of Pagosa Springs has slowed down significantly. Over the last 24 hours, it's grown about 100 acres. So far, it's burned 735 acres. Firefighters are focusing on keeping the fire away from the Lost Valley neighborhood. You know, here in Denver, we've had a lot of red flag days already this year. And if you're thinking you're tired of them, imagine how fire departments feel.
I can't even imagine. Boulder Fire says today is their 20th red flag day this year. So they're once again planning to bring in extra teams to respond to calls.
We work a lot with trying to help the public continue to just be aware that it's a day that risk is significantly higher, and to avoid getting complacent, even though we are all tired and exhausted with this ongoing barrage of sorts of red flag days that we have to be aware of.
Boulder Fire hopes the snow that we're expecting tomorrow will wet down grass and brush. And tomorrow's weather is going to be tough on plants.
Yeah, we talked to Ector's Garden Center in Arvada about it. They say bring plants inside if you can and cover the rest. They say annuals should be the first priority and then less hardy perennials. You can cover them with anything like a bucket, trash can, or tarp as long as it doesn't make contact with the plant.
Also water really well before the storm. If the soil has moisture in it, it actually creates more insulation than the plants than if the soil is dry.
So Ector's put together a great list of flowers and vegetables that are most likely to freeze. That's part of the story on 9news.com.
Today is going to be hot, and with our dry conditions, that means fire danger once again. Even if you live in suburban areas, it's always best to be prepared for a fire. We saw that firsthand with the Marshall Fire.
Yeah, and it spread so quickly. Are you prepared in case of an emergency? It's a question that we're asking you this morning. We've got a poll up and running. You can join the conversation at 9news.com/vote now.
The key to being safe is being prepared. This is not to panic you, but it's to help all of us be prepared for an emergency as a community.
So important. The first step, get a family communication plan together. It should detail what you'll do or where you're going to go if disaster strikes. Now, in terms of property, make a plan now. You should have come up with a home evacuation plan. This includes when and how to shut off your water, gas, electricity, identify where you can do that. Keep documents, important documents where you could easily grab them, things like insurance, banking, medical cards, and have your go kits ready. Water, food, first aid, clothes, and any specialty items.
Don't wait for the red flag day, but always have a kit of important papers, backup medications, backup pair of glasses, backup equipment or supplies for your pets. So if you do need to leave at a moment's notice, you know how to get out quickly.
Make sure you're keeping up on your yard work too. It's actually important mitigation. Clean out your gutters, remove junipers from your backyard and your front yard, clean out underneath your deck also. The state's Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management has a full list of things you should do to prepare and how you can do it. You can see it all on this website. It's dhsem.colorado.gov. So checking in on the poll this morning again, asking, are you prepared? Do you have an emergency plan in place? We got about 54 votes this morning, and it's kind of scattered across the board. 41% of you say no, 37% say that you have a plan but not ready, and 21% of you say you're planned, packed, and ready. And it's just a good reminder that we're giving people to just get those kits ready to go.
Yes, good on you for the 21% out there that's packed and ready to go, because we saw just how quickly things can change for the Marshall Fire. I'm with the 39% of you. We have a plan. We've talked about where we're going to go and what we need to pack, but we haven't packed the go bag, and that is the next step. You really have to be prepared.
And just know where your documents are. We did this story and I'm wondering, where are my documents? Where are those specialty items that I need to have together? So it's a good reminder. Marshall Fire really put things in perspective and gave us a reality check of where our fire season is. It's year round now.
Yeah, it was very eye-opening for us, for sure. Let's head back outside, take a live look out over Denver. We're going to be talking about the weather change all morning. We have some other news ahead as well. First, let's check in with Erica for a check on our morning drive. Good morning.
Good morning, Corey and Natasha, and everyone waking up with us right now. We do want to kick things off with a look from Sky 9 and show you how things are looking at I-25 and I-70. Nice overhead shot here where we're seeing a few cars on the interstate, but I wouldn't say we're watching any major slow spots just yet. So that's the best news as you get ready to leave the house. Let's bring you to our CDOT camera, or rather want to start you out with a heads up for RTD. So they've got some of their service suspended today and tomorrow for some overhead wire repairs. The D line at Littleton's Mineral Station is going to be impacted, and then the Oxford City of Sheridan Station impacted as well today and tomorrow. Bus shuttles are going to replace those stops, so expect up to 30-minute delays. So that's a big heads up for my RTD riders through that area. But smooth sailing as well at I-25 here in Thornton at 84th Avenue. Southbound and northbound volume is just extremely light. The big picture looking pretty good overall. We do have a crash in Brighton along southbound Highway 85 and 160th Avenue. Seeing a little bit of a slow spot approaching that area, and we're beginning to see some change in color on westbound 76 coming into Commerce City. Southeast 270 ride between I-25 and I-70 is up to about 9 minutes.
Erica, thank you. The Department of Justice plans to look into those crime sprees that killed 5 people across Denver and Lakewood in December.
The review will be part of the DOJ's efforts to develop a strategy to better respond to domestic threats. Yesterday, officers, restaurant workers, and dispatchers were honored for their bravery that night, including Agent Ashley Ferris, who risked her life to stop the shooter.
Ferris needed 2 surgeries, 3 weeks in the hospital, and ongoing physical rehab. Yesterday, she talked publicly for the first time since that shooting. She's planning to go back to the department on light duty next week and hopefully back to patrol in the next few months.
When I was hit in the abdomen, the bullet fragmented, and the fragments actually hit my sciatic nerve. My right leg was paralyzed on scene. I couldn't use it at all. So I had a walker for a while and then a cane, and now I'm able to walk. I don't have a limp anymore. It's really coming along.
Agent Ferris says she's been overwhelmed by the support. She got hundreds of cards and letters, many from strangers, and says she has read every single one of them.
We're learning more about just how expensive it'll be to go to college now after the Fed hiked up interest rates on student loans for the next school year. According to Forbes, rates will go up by 1.26 points. The hike will only affect student loans taken out starting in July. With the current rate, a $10,000 loan would cost a student a little under $12,000 over 10 years. For the new rate, they'd pay just over $12,700.
The goal is to tame down inflation, and one way to do that is to raise interest rates.
That's Alex Padilla, an economics professor at MSU. He says more students might choose to work while in college instead of taking out a loan. Others might just delay going to school altogether.
Today, House Democrats will hold hearings on the baby formula shortage. They're hoping to pass legislation that would put more people on the FDA's inspection staff, which makes sure imported products are safe to consume. President Biden is using the Defense Production Act to speed up the production of formula. It will require suppliers to direct needed resources to formula manufacturers. He's also ordering military planes to import formula from abroad. Those formulas still need to meet U.S. regulations.
Today's Civic Center Eats is back. Perfect spot for your lunch break if you work downtown. There will be food trucks at Civic Center Park every Thursday from 11 to 2 through August. This year, there's also going to be some live music. Perfect day for it, Ed, and then things change.
Boy, you can say that again. Things are really going to change. Look at today's highs in the 70s, 80s, nearing 90 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Then look at the drop off tomorrow as rain changes to snow. Temperatures only in the 30s and 40s.
As Colorado goes through a critical need for water, which will conserve more? Hand washing your dishes or using your dishwasher? We've got the answer next.
And later at 7, the team that made history as the first all-black group to scale to the top of Mount Everest will be on the Today Show. We've been reporting on their journey since that group, including several men from Denver, left for their conquest. They're going to be live from Nepal for their first interview since that climb.